Good morning, Les. How are ya?
I have a heavy heart this morning. Heavy heart and been thinking about a lot, and I want to share with people things that we can do other than just be a witness to what's going on right now. But I didn't sleep well at night, but I know that in the midst of all of this, that that goodness will prevail over evil. I do believe that when more people become more engaged and adhere to the thought of Benjamin Franklin that until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are affected, change will never take place. And so I want to talk about today about your voice needs to be heard. Your voice needs to be heard.
Well, let's do this. So today's obviously a little bit of a different show, but I think it's a really important show. I am still going to encourage people to tell us where they're watching from, because I think it's actually going to make at the end of this you feel how much your voice is heard, because this is not just an American problem. This is a world problem. And there are people watching us from all around the world. So please, if you'll let us know where you're watching us from, we are paying attention. Today's subject is heavy, and we think it's really important. And we would love to see how much Les can get this message out there. And a big part of that is where you guys are watching us from. I'm going to jump out of here and I'm going to listen, and let me know when you want me to pull those pictures up. Okay.
Okay. But are we going to say hello to people from different places around the world?
Yeah, I thought you wanted to jump in, but let's do it.
We got to do that. We got to find out who's listening and where are they.
Listen, they are watching from everywhere. Look at this, Turks and Caicos, which sounds amazing right now.
Mm-hmm.
You got a neighbor right here. We've got a ton of people from just everywhere. California, Suriname, London. A lot of these people, it's the middle of the night and they get up to watch the show. So you got a lot of your hometown people there right now. Your old hometown?
Yes, in Atlanta, Cleveland, yes.
Indiana. We got a lot of people from all over. So when we're talking about your voice being heard, I think that this is the platform. And today, the things that you and I talked about offline it's really going to make a difference. So I'm going to encourage people. I'm going to go and I'm going to listen, and I'm going to encourage you to try to stay on here as long as you can today, because I think that this is something we all probably need to hear. And please share this so that your networks can hear this message as well. All right, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I want to talk about the fact that your voice needs to be heard. Yesterday, police shot an unarmed black man in the back 7 times at close quarters, 7 times with his children in the car. And one of the things that we know, as you look at what's going on right now, the NBA and other sports teams have shut down in protests. And I'm going to talk about how to begin to express yourself in the context of protests and the standard that you can hold yourself to, because sometimes you can do the right thing in the wrong way, I believe. And I'm going to give you some strategies of what I learned when not just as a disc jockey, but as a community activist and as a state legislator, when I decided that my voice needed to be heard, that my voice was going to make a change. I want to pull up a picture right now to let you see that Les Brown. That's me there. I'm leading a demonstration of 5,000 people in Columbus, Ohio, against police deadly use of force and police brutality. And it was so flagrant and so widespread. They used to use my picture at the firing range at the police academy in Columbus, Ohio. The gentleman on my left, on your left, that's Mike Rivers. He's since passed. He was a karate expert. He was always supportive of things that I did. He was always there with me. There's a police officer and several police officers, they marched with us because they knew that it was wrong, the things that were happening. Evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. Your voice matters. Man was shot with police surrounding him, and they said, who would do this? They lie so much. They perhaps the only people that lie more than Trump. They said he told them he had a knife in the car and he was going to get it. Who in their right mind will tell 5 white policemen who have exchanged their hoods for a badge and a gun that they have a knife in the car and he's going to get it, drawn pistols, and they shot him in the back 7 times, 7 times. And it's a miracle he didn't die. I cried. My heart was broken when his father came on, because I have sons, and said they shot my son 7 times and now he's permanently paralyzed. This young man broke up a fight. Police were called and he was the good guy. He was not in the fight. He broke up a fight and he walked away from them. And they said, stop. And they shot him in the back 7 times and said, oh, he told us he had a knife in the car and he was going to get it. Who would do that? 7 times. That picture that you saw, that was me doing a demonstration in Columbus, Ohio. It was called Black Monday. It was protesting police brutality in Columbus, Ohio, and police deadly use of force. Police beat a Vietnam veteran who was holding his 4-month-old child. It was called the Kahiki incident at the Kahiki restaurant on Broad Street in Columbus, while he was holding his 4-month-old baby. They beat him with club sticks. I editorialized against that. And over 5,000 people came out in the winter, in the heart of winter. You never hear of demonstrations in the wintertime, always in the summer. They talk about hot summers. This is in the heart of the winter when this demonstration took place. 50 years ago, I'm 75 now, 50 years ago. Put that picture back up again, please. 50 years ago. When this took place, 50, look at me there. You can tell how young I am there. 50 years ago, I was a morning personality on WVKO radio station. Other Black police officers on the force, they had the courage to stand up and to become involved and became a part of the demonstration. 50 years ago, they used my picture on the shooting range of the police academy. 50 years ago, I had to move my family from Columbus back to Miami, and I stayed there editorializing against and talking about how unjust this was. You can take it down now. I want you to put up the picture, if you can, if you loaded it, of this picture, this of the kids. This man, his children were in the car. They shot him 7 times. And Tucker Carlson on Fox News said, oh, we shouldn't be surprised that this teen came with a rifle, an illegal rifle, mind you. His mother drove him there, mind you, and he killed a young man. He killed 2 people. He killed 2 protesters and wounded a 3rd. And Carson and Tucker Carlson, he did not say this is wrong. Vigilante behavior is wrong. He didn't say that this young man took the law in his own hands and he was wrong. He said he was protecting property. We shouldn't be surprised when teenagers go and get rifles and come to a peaceful protest and kill people. He didn't condemn that. Even the sheriff did not condemn it. The sheriff said if people had not violated the curfew, no one would have been killed. So the sheriff did not kill that behavior. The power of a voice. Listen to, here's what I want you to hear what I'm saying here. What Carson did not say speaks volumes. It's okay. It speaks volumes to the cops. It's okay. If black people out after hours, after curfew, it's okay if you shoot them and kill them. Carson's saying, hey, the city, the mayor, they weren't enforcing the law from his perspective. So he did the right thing. And what does that do? See, silence gives consent. That's why your voice it's so important. Silence gives consent. It's okay. He was doing the right thing. The officials weren't doing it. And so this young guy had an illegal rifle. His mother drove him to the demonstration. He aimed at the protesters, the peaceful protesters, and he killed 2 and wounded a 3rd one. Your voice needs to be heard. I'm going to be teaching people how to become vocal community activists, how to become voices of not only hope, but also change. Because Tucker Carlson, he has a platform. He's affecting the collective thinking of people who listen to him and say, oh, this is fine. He didn't condemn this. The president of the United States of America called football players who peacefully kneel to demonstrate against lawlessness, against so-called police officers. He called them fire them son of a bitches. That's what the president of the United States of America said against peaceful demonstrations against police lawlessness, guaranteed by the Constitution. But what did he say about this young boy who murdered 2 people and wounded a 3rd one? Zip. Nothing. Silence gives consent. Listen to me. There are some well-meaning, good-hearted people, I believe, that can hear me now. Evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. Until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are affected, change will never take place. Now, I do understand there's some people like Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump who don't have a soul, who are just evil people and can watch that man, that father of those children, get shot 7 times in front of his children in the back. Put the kid's picture back up there again, please. And you know something? Those kids will never be the same again. Aaron, put the picture back up, the kids. That's who I want, those kids. They will never be the same again. Their father was a good Samaritan. Their father was doing the right thing. Their father was a peacemaker. Their father was breaking up a fight. And he ended up being shot by lawless officers who were supposed to serve and protect, but they kill and terrorize. These kids, I can't even imagine how traumatized those kids are, and his wife. Oh my God. Okay, bring it back to me, please. My son, see, there are people who can't relate to what we're struggling with. I have sons and I have daughters, and I know cops don't care. The cops who killed Brianna in her home, in her bed, have not been charged. They're not in jail. They're still walking around free. Paid vacation. Nothing's happened to them. Nothing. My son, my grandson, my great-grandson, Carson, my great-grandson, Carson. My granddaughter heard him screaming, "Oh, no, no." So Tatum came out the room and said, "Carson, what's wrong? Are they coming to get me?" She said, "Who?" And he said, "The police." She said, "No, I will protect you." And he said, "Should I put my hands up or should I put my hands behind my back?" Carson is 5 years old, and he's already scared and terrorized of the police because of what he saw police doing to people on television. We live in two different worlds. If you're a white person, you didn't wake up with any fear in your heart because you know you can walk past police with a rifle after killing 2 people and wounding 1. And this young boy held his hands up thinking he was going to be arrested. And people are pointing him out saying, "He shot people. He shot people." They let him go past them, had an illegal rifle, and he was underage, 17, and went home and went to sleep. And had somebody not got the license plate number, he would probably still be in bed watching this on the internet. Why? Because he's white. Because he's white. We need people of conscience, white, brown, red, black, young, old, of all walks of life, to protest this inhuman behavior. 50 years ago, I was protesting against this. That's why I got fired from my job at WVKO radio station, editorializing against the Columbus Police Department for beating a Vietnam veteran who fought for our country, who fought for the flag, while he was holding his 4-month-old baby. And once they fired me and got me off the air, once they took the microphone out of my hand, Jim Hughes, the safety director, they hired the 2 cops back who was fired. Now they send them to different departments in other cities in the same state. Cops have absolute power. People say, "Oh, but don't make a broad sweep of all the cops." There are a lot of good cops, without question. My brother-in-law was a cop for over 30 years. He was a good cop. But they are complicit. The good cops, they say nothing. The good cops, they don't point out and say he was wrong. They stand back, they watch, and they say nothing. They shoot him. Bam. One of the cops said, "Come on, okay, you got him. You hit him." Bam, a second shot. "Okay, I think, come on now, we're close range. You didn't miss." Bam, a third shot. "Hey, you okay, come on now. This is just a little bit too much." Bam, go, come on, man. Come on, shot the man 4 times in the back. Bam, here's a 5th. Come on, there are kids in the car. One of those bullets could hit one of those kids. Bam, bam. Oh boy. Oh boy. How your voice is needed. See, we're going through something. See, drugs were not an epidemic, considered a disease, an epidemic that needed to be treated when Black people were just doing them. But when it got to the suburbs, now it's a national epidemic. Now, rather than putting thousands, millions of white kids and white people in jail for drugs and for marijuana, it's been legalized. They found a way to make money off of it. Evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. We're not just here to make money. We're here not just to provide for our families. We're here to make an impact, to make and create a better world. How does that happen, Les? Through words, creating a culture that values human life. I remember an interview I saw on Larry King. He was talking to a white supremacist, and he asked him, he said, "Why do you hate Black people?" He said, the white supremacist, "Because they're Black and I'm white." And Larry asked him a key question, I think the question of the century. What did you have to do with your being born white? What's your question? What did you have to do? What role did you play with your being born white that justifies your hating Black people? I have to get back to you on that. That's on Larry King Live. I remember being on the bus with my mother when we used to go on Miami Beach and they had signs. You know, I'm 75, raised in the segregated South. Jews, dogs, and coloreds not allowed. And I asked my mother, why do they hate us so much? And to her credit, she said, I don't know, Leslie, but don't you be like them. You hear me? Don't you hate them. Don't you be like them, son. Your voice. If you believe that you shouldn't kill a person just because of their color, if you believe that we have a responsibility to face this reckoning, we've protested, we've marched a half a century, nothing has changed. George Floyd, I mean, just a few weeks ago. And they're still, in fact, they're amping it up because people were watching and they knew it. People had cameras on them and they knew it. And they're making a statement. You think we care about that? Bam, 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 bam. Take that as your protests. We've been given the go-ahead to kill y'all. Your life ain't nothing here. You're in America. Your life means nothing here. The judge is on our side. The prosecuting attorneys are on our side. The jurors are on our side. Less than 97% of us will ever go to court for killing one of y'all. And those who go will get off. We have absolute power. We are judge, jury, and executioner. Bam, 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 bam. And don't you forget it. Judge, jury, an executioner. We have absolute power. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. How do you condemn people who in America, we're not talking about a banana public, kneel peacefully to protest an injustice? Call them son of a bitches. Fire them, fire them, fire them. That's what Agent Orange said. Fire them. Traitor Trump. Fire them, fire those son of a bitches. I dare you kneel peacefully to protest your people being killed like a dog. Michael Irvin went to prison for killing dogs, for dog fights. For dog fights. Remember Michael Irvin, the football player who allowed people to have dog fights at his place? He went to prison. The people who killed Breonna, shot her in bed, had not committed any crime. They're still walking free. They have not been charged with anything. He went to prison for arranging dog fights. Remember Michael Irvin? A black man killed a police dog. He got 40 years. 40 years. Listen, do the research. 40 years for killing a police dog. The people who killed Breonna, no time at all, have not been charged. People are protesting that, have not been charged. Young man that was walking here in Georgia and he was killed. No big deal. Until people protest. Oh, we're investigating this and now we need to go back and look. Well, he told the police, even though he saw guns drawn on him, he told the police he had a knife in his car and he was going to get it. And so they felt threatened and shot him in the back 7 times. Oh, they tased him and the taser didn't work. So they had to shoot him 7 times in the back. No, they couldn't shoot him in the thigh. They were very close, or the ankle, or some non-lethal place that would not paralyze him. No, they had to do that because there's 5 of them, and they had to keep him from getting his knife. He was going to be Tarzan, the king of the jungle, and fight them with their guns, and he had a knife, maybe a switchblade. That is very deadly. You know, those blackies, they're good with switchblades. Tucker Carlson, encouraging white teenagers when the city don't do the job, not to surrender to anarchy. Are we surprised when they go home and get rifles and driven to peaceful demonstrations and shoot and kill people? Oh, I'm not going to condemn taking a life. It's a black life. That's not a life at all. Remember what our Constitution said. They're only 3/4 human. What are you talking about? That hasn't changed in our collective psyche. We used to celebrate that. We used to be entertained by that. Where do you think the word picnic, let's have a picnic, come from? You know where picnic comes from? There's a restaurant in LA called Picnic. I talked to the owner and he changed the name, Picnic. You know where picnic comes from? Where you just pick a nigger and we would come out and have sandwiches and soda and wine and watch them be lynched. And we were entertained by that. Oh, beautiful. What spacious God. Wow. Wow. That's deep, isn't it? Oh, oh, yeah. So, yes, we used to use Negro babies to feed alligators and crocodiles. So, but that's what we did, and nobody protested it. It was no big deal. These crocodiles and alligators were getting thin and skinny, and they needed something to eat, and we used the colored people's babies. Hmm. What are you upset about? Shot a father 7 times in the back. Now he's permanently paralyzed. Didn't break a crime, didn't have a gun, he didn't turn on us, didn't have a threatening stance. We shot him in the back. But after 7 shots, he might have been able to reach that gun. The only reason we didn't shoot him another time, we ran out of bullets. What are you all upset about? If you'd been home before the curfew, nobody would have been dead. That's the sheriff. The words from the sheriff. When a fish dies, it stinks at the top. If you peacefully demonstrate in America and you're black, a call for you by the President of the United States, fire those son of a bitches. But if you come out to a peaceful demonstration and you're white and take out an illegal rifle and you're underage and kill 2 people and wound a third one, police will walk past you, the murderer, because you're white, and go arrest peaceful demonstrators who are educating their constitutional right. If you'd like to be a voice of change, if you don't agree with this madness, this inhumanity, if you want to create a new generation. Oh, by the way, did you know, even though over 170,000 people have died and over 1,000 dying every day, did you know the coronavirus is gone? It doesn't exist. According to the Republican Party convention, it doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. We have won the fight against the coronavirus. Oh, you're saying that to the families of people who've lost loved ones? It's gone. See, words are powerful. What you say and what you don't say. Silence gives consent. I learned this as a disc jockey, and that's how I decided, because of the coaching from Mike Williams, who wrote the book, The Road to Your Best Stuff, said, Brownie, you can do more than just entertain people with your rhymes. You can be a voice of change. Listen to me. You can be a voice of change. If you don't believe that an unarmed human being, I'm not going to say an unarmed black man, but an unarmed human being should not be shot at close range by several police officers 7 times in the back while his little children watch. And any bullet could have killed one of them. And you want to be on the side of having a conscience, having a heart, having a soul, not aligning yourself with evil. Put voice in the comment section. I'll teach you how to become a community activist. I'll teach you how to speak out, how to be a voice of change. I'm going to do some special sessions and teach you how to begin to make a greater impact, to live a life that will outlive you, to create a better world for our children and not surrender this world to these evil people who've taken off their hoods and put on badges. And those who stand by and just watch, who are complicit, who are witnesses, who are silent. Oh, the blue shield. That means we watch illegal behavior, people being brutalized and killed, and we're silent. Why? Because they're Black. It doesn't matter. That slogan is so wrong. Black lives have mattered. Black lives matter. No, it does not. Come on. Why y'all saying that? Come on. Why are you upset? Come on. Can't matter. Y'all kill each other all the time. What in the hell are you talking about now? Black lives matter. Tell me that if you live in Chicago. Hello, I hear crickets. Y'all kill each other all the time. We're just doing what y'all do all the time. We get calls, we just gonna wait it out, let them kill each other. They don't value their own lives. I know some of y'all are saying, you know something, kid, you and your little flat top, we through with you. I'm fine with that. Sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying. This is just too much stuff every day. Every day there's something else. Every day I can't watch it. I couldn't watch it. They say, have you seen it? No, I can't get that in my consciousness. No, I don't want to see anybody get killed. No, I don't want to see the kids terrorize and cry over the blood of their father. No, I don't want to see these lying. Oh, God. Those kids. Oh, boy. That father talking about his son. I got 5 sons. They shot my son 7 times. He's paralyzed for life. I felt his pain. I felt his pain. Mama, why do they hate us? I don't know, Leslie, but don't you be like them. Kill Mama, it's so hard. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You wake up in the morning and you're scared to get out of your car. You're scared to drive. You're scared to be stopped. You're scared to go to the store. Because somebody might say, he looked at me in a threatening way, or he had a threatening position and I felt endangered, so I killed him. Judge. Next. Innocent. Oh boy. Justice. Malcolm was right. Just us. Just us. Just us. 2020. Just us. Congratulations to the national basketball team for having the courage to stand up for your convictions. Don't be vulgar in how you speak against this. Don't go down to their level. Hold yourself to a higher standard so people can hear you. And all the other teams that said, no, we got to protest this. This is wrong. If you agree with me that you want to be trained by me, we need all hands on deck. Trump, Pence, none of them talked about the murder that took place. Why? Because it doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to them. If it matters to you, what took place yesterday, would you like to bring about with your voice, with your heart, with your conscience, with your release, with your religious conviction, the least that you do unto these, my brethren, you do it also unto me. Unto me. Pardon me. If you have a conscience, if you have a heart, if you have a soul, put voice in the comment section. We can eliminate this in our generation. You have something special. You have greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Aaron?
We're going to wrap it up really quick, but I do want you to see a couple things real quick. This is healing for me that you are using your platform to speak the raw, unfiltered truth. And then as a white woman, this one speaks so loudly to me. Silence gives consent. You can be a voice of change. As we expected, all the comments weren't loving, but there were so many comments of people that really need to hear you. I will tell you, they now want you to run for president. So we do have that on there. But I appreciate you using your voice. And I know this was a little bit of a different of a show for everyone, but do put voice into the, I want to make sure we do this part right because I'm kind of all over the place right now, but put voice into the comments. If you are on Facebook, if you are on LinkedIn, go to powervoicetraining.com. I will tell you that I get to speak with Les all of the time, and it has been life-changing. And so put voice in the comments, go to Power Voice Training, and then wrap us up, sir.
I repeat, until those who are as outraged, who are unaffected, change will never take place. Those who are unaffected, as outraged as those who are affected, change will never take place. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I have a son, Patrick. He said, Dad, we've been protesting. He was a kid. I used to take my kids with me to demonstrations saying, this is what we are demonstrating against. Dad, you've been doing this 50 years. Enough is enough. He said, I don't believe in protests. I said, Patrick, we must be patient. We must be persistent, and we must persevere. I still believe that. We must be patient. We must be persistent. We must persevere. They want us to lose it. They specialize in killing. That's right down their alley. There's a reason Dr. King and Gandhi chose nonviolence. They know the monsters that we are dealing with, and they are truly the devil. Okay, thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Have a good day.